Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing a solo playthrough of Downtown Las Palmas. Let's get rolling. So I'm ready to teach you how to play Downtown Las Palmas and then do a solo playthrough of it. So this is a game that was provided to me by Button Shy Games at PAX Unplugged this year in 2025. And this is a preview copy, but I believe it will be available soon. This is a very different game from most of the other Button Shy games I've played. It's got a bit of a dexterity element to it that is not required. There is a variant where you can play this on the tabletop, but I'm going to play it as I guess originally suggested. So as is usual for Button Shy game, we've got our 18 cards there, double-sided here, but broadly speaking, they're depicting buildings in a city. Some of them are going to be horizontal and some of them are vertical, and they're mostly this nice sort of aqua tealish sort of color, and then they've got brown bits on them, and the color will be relevant. So everything that's in brown is considered a scoring element, and there are a variety of scoring elements. I'll show you from the rule book here, and they've got examples. There are clocks and cats and canopies. There are palm trees and pedestrians and rooftops. So here we have a pedestrian and a dog. Here we have two canopies. We have a door. We have two signs. We have another pedestrian, a clock, a rooftop. So there's all sorts of stuff on these, and some of those things are going to score as points at the end of the game if they're visible. Now, the basic flow of the game is pretty simple. We have a stack of cards that are shuffled up, and one at a time, we're going to take the cards and we're going to add them to our tableau. And I'm simplifying this a little bit for now. So, okay, here's our tableau. Now we've got our next card. We're going to add this to our tableau. And the way that adding cards works is pretty critical. Let me go through the steps. So all cards must, be in the same orientation in terms of which way is up and which way is the ground. And the ground must always be parallel. And then you can place cards behind one another, so this would be fine. But let me put it to you this way: buildings can block the sky, but the sky cannot block buildings. So that's an important rule. And each card that's placed must have at least one fully visible scoring element. So I couldn't place this one like this because there is nothing fully visible on it and out of any of these brown scoring elements. And just as the sky cannot cover buildings, the sky cannot cover scoring elements either. So hopefully that all makes sense. When it's time to place a card, you can choose not to place it. And if you do that, you just flip it around and put it in the back so that you know you're ignoring it for the purposes of other placements. And then at the end of the game, you're going to get 2 points for every visible card in your tableau, and you'll lose 2 points for each card you've chosen to hide behind your tableau, and you'll get 1 point for every 2 visible scoring elements. In addition to that, when we start playing the game during setup, we're going to flip the top 2 cards over, and they have variable scoring conditions on the backside. So this one would give us traffic jam, 2 points per vehicle. So there's a vehicle there. Sky Mall, 2 points per sign on cards with no visible ground. So for example, if I'm just building something quickly here for you, we could have perhaps something like this. Okay, where there's a couple of signs, but this card does not have any visible ground on it. The ground is totally hidden on that card. So those signs would be worth extra points. So far, this doesn't seem all that difficult the way I've described it, but I've definitely buried the lead. I said that there was a dexterity element. So let me put these back into some sort of order and show you how that works. Okay, so we shuffle it up real quick. And we'll flip the top 2 cards over here. And we have City Kitties, 2 points per cat, and Traffic Jam, 2 points per vehicle. The rules state if you ever get two rules that conflict with each other, you can just redraw and then shuffle them back into the deck. Now you'll notice I'm holding the whole deck of cards here with the 2 scoring criteria behind them. The dexterity element of this game is you may never put any of the cards down. So I'm going to hold the deck and the scoring in my left hand. I'm right-handed, and I'm going to build the city in my right hand, and I need to hold all the cards at once. If I ever drop a card, the game is immediately over. The other ending conditions are if the deck ever runs out of cards, excluding the 2 scoring cards, or if you choose to stop, you can choose to stop at any time, then the game can end. So if you run out of cards, game ends. If you choose to stop, the game ends. Or if you drop any card at any time, then the game ends and you go immediately to scoring. Now, as you're playing, you can choose to rearrange your cards at any time. You can't drop them. You can't put anything down, but you can move things around as you wish until it's time for scoring. Now, one other thing that's kind of fun is on the bottom of the rule book here. Here's a QR code for the tabletop variant, and you can find those rules online if you just want to put the cards down as normal. But the scoring is based off of the size of your hand, and so they have a little chart here, and you measure your hand. And so mine is like kind of on the edge of the medium to large. If I really stretch like a little bit painfully, I can get into large, but naturally I'm kind of at the medium size, but I'll probably score. I've been scoring on large just to be safe. So depending on how many points you get, you're either an intern, a city planner, or a planning manager. I have not gotten planning manager yet, but I've gotten city planner a few times. So let's give this a shot. I'll stick with the deck as I have it with City Kitties and Traffic Jam. And let's go ahead and do a playthrough and see how it goes. So I take the first card and I hold it. Now, when I end the game, if I'm covering a scoring element with my hand, like this car here, then it does not count for scoring. So I want to have cats and vehicles. So there's a vehicle. Bikes are different than, vehicles. Vehicles are like cars and stuff. So there's a car, there's a cat. So that's a decent start. I don't want to cover up those elements. Maybe I'll hold the card like this. I can always reposition. We've got this sky on the right side here, so we're not going to be able to put any buildings behind it, but we could put something in front of it. We just wouldn't want to cover the cat. So the next card also has a vehicle on it. Oh, and a cat. I was going to say I want to hold it maybe this way to see both those vehicles, but I don't want to lose the cat either, so maybe I'll do this. All right, so it's getting a little bit wide. It's kind of a precarious way to hold it. Let's take the next card. Also has a vehicle. No cats. But because of that sky there, I would love to just slide this back here to just have the smallest amount popping out of that car. But now I've got sky covering building. You can't do that. Maybe I can do something. There we go. Building, covering building. Maybe something more like this, if I can keep it all together. All right, what's next? There's a cat on this one. Let's see if I can maybe add a little verticality to get just the cat. I don't like the way I'm holding it, though. I just barely have my finger on it back here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it there and keep that cat visible. Now, let's just pretend for a second that I wanted to end the game so we can get some idea of what this scoring would be like. So I've got 4 cards visible. That would be 8 points. And then my special scoring criteria, I have no hidden cards. My special scoring criteria for Traffic Jam and City Kitties would get me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points. 2 per vehicle, 2 per cat. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, 12 points. 12 points there. If I can keep that cat visible, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Oh my goodness. So 12 plus 8, so I'm at 20. And then each other scoring element, every pair would get me a point. So I'm at 20. This would be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 points. So I'll go ahead and stop here. I'm not ending the game, but again, just to show you what this would look like. So if my hand size is large, 28 points is still under intern. I'm trying to get 36 to 55. That's that medium range. If I go with the medium hand size, then 31 to 50. So not quite there. Can I build this back again? Do I remember how I had it? Let's see. What was this? This was just for a car. Let me just start over. It's fine. Now at least you kind of get it. So I'll shuffle these back up. And we'll see how far I get. And then I'll give you some thoughts at the end or share some anecdotes of where I've played this game. Okay. And for the record, I've only had this game. Let's see. I picked it up on Saturday. I'm filming this on Tuesday. So I've had it for a few days. I'm not like an expert by any means. Oh, I need 2 scoring conditions, don't I? So City of Spires, 1 point per rooftop. Nothing but sun, 10 points if there are no canopies. The spires don't get you that much. The no canopies is kind of a big deal. So canopies are going to be like these, or umbrellas as well count as canopies. So those can be tough to avoid. So here's our first card. At least it's nice and level and wall-to-wall building. That gives us some options. This one has sky all the way across the top. So we can cover some of the ground like this. We can do that. This one's got a lot of sky too. I find the ones with sky pretty difficult. So we do want rooftops, and this one has a rooftop. So we can maybe put it there for now. Got a couple scoring elements visible with the sign as well. Next, all right, this one's got a canopy, so we're going to want to block that. For that big scoring criteria, but the building can't be blocked by sky. So maybe I can slip that in there and then pull this one out a little further. It's only got to have 1 scoring element visible to count. Right now it's got 2. It's got a tree and some pedestrians. So we're doing something a little like this. All right, next is this one's got this big umbrella, and I don't know how I'm going to cover it up. I need to have at least 1 scoring element visible. This one's going to be a problem. I could, hide it in the back and just lose 2 points for it. I don't think I want to do that, but I need to have a scoring element visible. So I need to keep that sign visible and then find something to block the umbrella. That is going to be exceedingly difficult. Oof. Having a hard time keeping this in hand already. Maybe I should have just blocked that one. Oh, well. All right, this one, this has got a canopy up high as well. But I could block it all and just show that window. Oops. I don't know how I'm going to make this work. Let me try and put this here. Yeah, we've got a couple canopies now, and that is a problem. I don't know how I want to go about solving that. Maybe I can rearrange these. Maybe get this one out of here. What if I used it actually like this so we can see that ground element? And could I use this to block the umbrella maybe? So we've got at least a bike element on this card here. So it is visible, but now the canopy is blocked. We've got a sign on this card. Few elements on that card. Okay, we do want to get rid of this other canopy. Oh boy. There we go. We want to get rid of that canopy. I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. Okay, but I think I'm still following the rules. I think I'm just trying to stack up as many cards as I can with just like 1 element each, and maybe I can live with that. So this next one has 2 roof elements on it. I really want that. Maybe I can slide this one like this a little, so that roof is visible, and then add these roofs as well. Oh yeah, so like just a little bit over this card with 2 roofs that I just added. I'm not even really holding with my fingers. It's just wedged between other cards. And now I've got building blocked by sky. Can't have that. I gotta push it elsewhere. Oh my. I can't have ground showing. Can I get this one here? to block that other canopy, but now I'm blocking building with sky again. That's a no-no. This is tricky. Maybe I just use that. I got to go even further there. I still have scoring element blocked by sky. Can't do that. Maybe I'm just going to ditch this one. I'm going to flip it around and hide it. So that's going to cost me a couple points. But now I've got a couple of canopies like that. Maybe I'll bring it back if I rearrange. But I don't have a good legal placement right now. Man, this one's way too high. I'm going to drop it. Oof, this is rough. Okay. That one's got a canopy. I'd want to hide it. It doesn't have any rooftops. So what is this one doing for me? It would potentially, could I use this section to cover this canopy? Not really, because then I'll have this building hidden behind sky as well. But I should be able to hide a scoring element behind a building. That should be okay. And then like this, you can see those rooftops. I might be nearing the limit of what I can reasonably do. Well, is this next one worth trying to squeeze in there? Maybe. Might do a better job covering some of these things. Because it's just like wall-to-wall buildings. So maybe this is certainly got to be the last one. Yeah, next one's got 2 canopies, so I don't want to touch it. So if I can get this one on there, then maybe I can just end the game. So there's a window, so something's scoring there. Can I get these? Can I get this somewhere? I've got to hide the ground, though. You can't see the ground if it's up in the sky. Roughly there. Okay. I think I'm going to stop here. So I have how many visible cards in play here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 points. I have hidden 1 in the back, so I lose 2 points for that. I'm down to 14. And then the custom scoring conditions, there are no canopies visible. So that gets me 10 points up to 24, plus 1 per rooftop. 25, 26. And then the scoring elements, 1 point for every 2. So we've got 27, 28. Those are both partially covered. So 29, 30, 31, 32. I can see the dog. 33, and even if I give myself those pedestrians, that gets me to 34, and that is not a great score. That's going to get me, if my hands are large, almost to the end of City Planner. If I go with medium hand size, then that's kind of like a medium score. So that is what a game of Downtown Las Palmas looks like. Now, again, there is a tabletop variant if that is not to your liking, but I am not somebody who likes dexterity games, but this is kind of novel, especially from Button Shy. I haven't seen something like this before. Not that I've played all their games, but certainly new to me. So I think it's kind of neat. It's kept my attention, and I played a number of places, but I played this on the airplane ride home a couple times. And luckily I did not drop any cards in that specific instance, but I thought that was kind of fun without even having to like take the little table down from the seat back in front of me. I could just play this in my 2 hands. And I've kind of wanted a game that could do that for a while, that I can just play while holding the cards. And I think that it's fun that that's a requirement of this one, that if you drop the cards, then the game is over and now you just proceed to scoring. A number of my games have ended that way though. So overall, I like it. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I did try the tabletop variant, didn't really get the same sort of enjoyment out of it. I like that they give you a lot of leeway to rearrange the cards whenever you want. I think that makes it a lot more forgiving. But I do notice that the cards are fine. They're good. They're the same quality good cards as everything else Button Shy makes. But I do notice that just as I'm trying to hold these things together, especially as it starts getting larger and I've got cards tucked in weird places, this is obviously a legal arrangement, but whatever. If it gets really wide or starts getting really tall, I'm pressing them hard and kind of bending. You can see, I'm putting pressure on it just to hold it together, but it does cause me to bend the cards a little bit. They don't really stay bent. They don't keep that shape, but they might over time. I might hurt the cards if I'm pressing too hard. So I'm trying to be gentle, but just by the nature of it, I'm holding them pretty tight. But yeah, this is a fun game. I like the theme. I like the artwork. I like the way it plays. I feel like I've got to get an official ruling on my hand size though. So in addition to having this little, small, medium, and large chart here, it also has hand sizes listed in centimeters. So maybe I've got to get a ruler out and get an official ruling. But like I said, this top tier, this planning manager, I have not accomplished that yet. So I'm going to keep playing at least until I get that once. But this one's been pretty challenging. Luckily, it's been enjoyable to play too. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you've got any questions, I'd be happy to try and help you out here. Again, this will be coming soon from Button Shy, so you can keep an eye out for it. But this is one I'm definitely going to be keeping and probably showing some people just for the novelty of it. And I can pretty much guarantee every time I go on a plane from now on, this is going to be one of the Button Shy games that I grab. So you can take that for what it's worth. But yeah, questions, comments, let me know down in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk to you about it there. Leave a like on the video if you enjoy this type of content. Don't forget to subscribe. I will have more Button Shy games coming to the channel before too long. I have at least 4 more Button Shy videos planned over the next short while here. So if that's the type of thing you like, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I've got a playlist of Button Shy content as well. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching Table for One, and I will see you next time.